So let's talk about some of the moves that the Orioles have made within the past week to bolster their bullpen. They traded cash considerations to the Boston Red Sox for lefty Darwinzon Hernandez. Now, Roch, this is a 26-year-old who has a career ERA just over 5, had a very solid 2021, struggled a bit in 2022, real high strikeout, high walk guy.
That's it, and it is a high walk. It's like over 7, almost 8 walks per 9 innings, but also 14 strikeouts per 9 innings in the majors, mid-90s fastball. Has 2 minor league options, and that's attractive to them. And I'd heard they were looking to maybe add another bullpen guy, and they still might, but the concern was if it's somebody who doesn't have options, then you run into some problems because there's a couple other guys that don't as well, or the Rule 5 pick, Andrew Politi, can't be sent down. At least this guy's got 2 options, so there's some flexibility. If he goes to camp and doesn't get the Lewin Diaz treatment, I think they're intrigued by the arm. They've seen him during the season. He's faced them, I guess it's 7 games, 16 strikeouts in 8 innings. So he's looked good to them when they've seen him. And again, it's a power arm, but it's got to be harnessed. Now maybe they're looking at Cionel Perez and saying, there was a guy who had a high walk rate, Felix Bautista.
Yeah. We
got our hands on him. We were able to reduce it. Maybe they can do the same with him. I think when a guy's throwing that hard at lefty and has that many strikeouts, it's worth a look. And especially because he is optionable. And with Nick Vespi having the hernia surgery, not ready for opening day, it gives you another left-hander to compete in camp. Again, assuming that he stays in the organization. I don't want to get too attached to him because I keep getting attached to Lewin Diaz. I look up a lot of numbers, and then he's gone, at least temporarily. He's the boomerang of left-handed hitting first baseman.
Absolutely. He's having a crazier offseason than Carlos Correa, I think you could say. But when you look at the bullpen, what the Orioles have done to it this offseason in bolstering it, I think it's funny because before the offseason started, if you were to ask Orioles fans the area of the team that least needed to be addressed, it would be the bullpen because how good they were last year. You look at the projected bullpen for opening day. Now, this is my list. Roch, feel free to disagree with this. I think Felix Bautista is a lock, Cionel Perez, Michael Gibbons, who was added on a 1-year deal, Dylan Tate, Brian Baker. I just threw in DL Hall, Keegan Aiken, and the new addition in Darwinzon Hernandez. 3 lefties, but you look at this bullpen, it's a lot deeper than it was at this point last year. And even if you do get some regression from some of the top guys, the hope is that you can fill in with depth.
That's why the Michael Gibbons signing, I'll say again, was smart because you do have to anticipate the regression, even if it ends up not happening. You can't just assume you're going to get the exact same production from Brian Baker, Perez, or some of these other guys, especially ones that don't have much of a track record. I don't think they go 4 lefties in the bullpen. I think Austin Voth, who could be heading to an arbitration hearing, by the way, they didn't reach an agreement today. I think if he doesn't make the rotation, which is pretty crowded, he's like that valuable swing guy, somebody that starts out in the bullpen, can give you length. There's also Politi, the Rule 5, who's, again, I think the Gibbons signing especially squeezed him a little bit more, but there's still an opportunity there. Joey Crable, is a guy that I'm curious about because he had struggled. He was really good early on, began to struggle, taken off the active roster in September, but somebody who's still going to be, we assume, in camp and in the mix. Hall could end up in the rotation. If not, probably bullpen, but we don't know for sure that he doesn't go to AAA and continue his development as a starter. But I think Voth is a guy that I would sub out with Hernandez, especially having the 2 options and not going with 4 lefties, is probably the guy that would start out in AAA if he's in the organization. But I think it's going to be a wide open kind of camp competition like it is with some rotation and maybe the bench as well, where the best guys are the ones that you hold on to.